In this video, we transformed this Kawasaki Ninja from a neglected, abandoned barn find into this. But getting there was an absolute horror show, all for this exact moment. Let's get to work. I can't even hide my excitement just seeing this bike, and I don't want to disturb it because it's been sitting here almost 16 years and it's basically a time capsule. You can see this old expired license plate with last registration expiring in 2013. It's got this thick cake of dust on it, and I am hoping that the dust protected it from degrading over time. This is essentially gonna be a restoration project for us. There's no cracks in the fairings. This thing has never been dropped. The only slight modifications we did to it back then was we installed these hot grips. I'm assuming those still work. And then we punched a little hole in the exhaust to make it louder. So it is the stock exhaust with just a little bit of opened up baffles in it. Before we can move this time capsule 1 inch, we have to defeat the 2012 security system. My brother used 2 massive locks to keep this thing from getting stolen 14 years ago. And there are no keys for the bike. The bike has this massive chain. It's chained to this tiller. This prevents someone from coming and stealing it. Locks defeated. The next problem, the steering column is locked dead to the left, and the original keys are absolutely nowhere to be found. This bike doesn't want to roll, it just wants to walk in circles. Standard procedure says you roll a bike onto a trailer. Our procedure, pure, unadulterated muscle. With my 2 brothers and my son Gunner and me, we have exactly 4 horsepower available to solve this problem. Honestly, not bad. Teamwork makes dream work, or at least saves my lower back from early retirement.
Got it in there?
Yep, good to go.
Focus in here real quick.
This wheel has a massive flat spot from sitting, and it's cracked exactly where it was sitting at. You'll always hear people say, never trust a tire that's over 5 years old. Most manufacturers actually recommend 10 years old. Like, that's the hard, like, do not use past this date range. These things are the original tires, so they're 18 years old. The things that worry me initially are, what is the fuel tank like inside? This thing's been sitting so long. Is it just rust in there? Am I gonna have to replace it, pull it off, clean it? That chain is gonna need some work, but more importantly, this thing has rubber hoses, vacuum lines. It has rubber diaphragms in its dual carburetors. Are those things just trashed inside? And to be honest, those carburetors could be the one reason that if this wasn't kind of a family heirloom at this point, that I would not want to restore it. Now, logistically, I don't have a way to transport this thing straight to my garage today. So we made a tactical detour back to my brother's place to unload, regroup, and plan the attack. Next up, let's get this thing cleaned up because we don't want to start working on it when it's an absolute mess. We back up the trailer, unstrap the bike, and this is where the dynamic completely flips. Gunner is so incredibly hyped for his first motorcycle that the second his boots hit the driveway, he goes absolute beast mode. Me, I looked at the bike, looked at the heat, and decided the most executive decision I could make as a father was to go take a nap. I closed my eyes for 1 hour. I woke up, walked outside, and the kid had completely revolutionized the project. He didn't just wash it, he detailed the outside, stripped every single piece of fairing off the chassis, and then detailed the naked engine and frame again, just so it was clinically clean to wrench on. And the universe must have respected the hustle, because while I was sleeping, my brother found one of the original keys.
What kind of fuel line do you have on this?
Heavy. Grips are on.
You feel it? Oh, he still works.
Experiment over, time to reset. We put the gas tank in the wheel well, mounted the heavy duty hitch rack, loaded the naked Ninja onto the back, strapped her down tight, and hit the road for the 5-hour drive home. And this is where things almost went completely sideways. Coming off the rack, the balance shifted, and I almost dropped my son's brand new motorcycle right in front of him. But here, we don't panic, we just ride the chaos. Saved it. Now, after sitting for so long, the inside of this gas tank was absolutely trashed. It was packed with a ton of crystallized fuel, rust, and old gunk. The problem is you can't just jump online and easily buy a replacement tank for a 2008 Ninja anymore. This one had to be saved. Commercial rust removers like Evaporust work great, but they are super expensive when you need to fill a whole tank. So I decided to go the elementary school science project route instead and dumped 5 gallons of straight vinegar to let it soak for a few days. So you let that sit for 24 to 48 hours. Then you just add in some baking soda. First you rinse it out once. Then you add in a baking soda rinse. This only takes a few minutes. Let that soak for a couple minutes and make sure the whole inside of the tank is deactivated. The vinegar acid is deactivated. And then rinse it out one more time. And then finally, when you're ready, finish rinsing it out. Add some isopropyl alcohol. This will help dry it out and then dry out the tank the rest of the way. So I got so excited to get this tank cleaned up that I almost forgot to show you guys what it looks like in there. Just the opening itself is pretty rusty looking. Oh yeah, look at that. That's the roof right there. Just caked in gunk. I think some of that's rust, some of that is fuel residue. While the tank was marinating, it was time to address the fuel system. Now, pulling carburetors on this bike is notorious for being a nightmare, so I was doing everything I could to avoid a full rebuild. While they were still sitting inside the bike, I opened up the vacuum chambers on top of the carbs to inspect the rubber diaphragms. Surprisingly, they were not ripped. I mean, you can definitely see that the needle here is gunked up, but that diaphragm is still pristine, very beautiful. I'm gonna be able to reuse these. I thought I'd have to replace them. I should probably go ahead and pull a spark plug and take a peek at that while I'm in here. Not too bad, but definitely rich. Could be from us spraying some starting fluid in there or carburetor cleaner. And that spark plug looks basically good as new. Might not be able to get that in there, but I'm gonna try one more time. It is technically just, oh, there we go, in the hole, boom, okay. The top of the piston looked almost as bad as the gas tank, just coated in thick carbon. My optimism was short-lived. The deeper we looked, the more it became clear a full rebuild was completely unavoidable. So we got to work on the worst part of the job, actually removing the carburetors. Getting them out of the frame was a total nightmare. It is an incredibly tight fit, and once we finally cracked them open on the bench, I saw why the bike wouldn't run. The old brass jets were completely solidified with green crust. While the tank continued to soak, I also completely stripped down and rebuilt the fuel petcock to make sure the new fuel delivery would actually be cleaned. At the same time, Gunnar knocked out the maintenance, changing the oil with some high quality Motul 7100 and a fresh Canon oil filter. With the carbs rebuilt, it was time for the worst part of the day. Putting them back in, removing and installing the carbs on this bike is a job I hope to never have to tackle again as long as I live. It is so ridiculously tight in there that every single screw requires a complete act of contortion just to get a tool on it. But they are officially in.
Oh, that was nice for you. It's giving hope now.
Now I almost made a massive mistake and forgot to change the coolant. Gunnar was at school and I was getting so excited to hear this thing run that I wanted to knock this out immediately so we could attempt the first start the second his boots hit the driveway. They say to never use tap water in a cooling system, but after sitting for 14 years, I wanted to ensure every single bit of that old crusty green coolant was completely flushed out. I cracked open the engine's 2 coolant drain screws, emptied the system, and topped the bike up with straight tap water. Old coolant is extremely corrosive, so I was doing everything I could to make as little of a mess as possible. Finally, on the 3rd fill, I added high performance blue engine ice coolant and let the bike fully warm up to bleed the system and ensure there were absolutely no air bubbles trapped inside. With that done, everything inside the engine is officially completely refreshed. Well guys, I've been working on this motorcycle all day while my son has been at school. Moment of truth. You want to start it up?
Yeah. Ready? It idles, right? Sounds good, right?
Hey guys, that is about half of the project. We still gotta redo the gas tank and put the bike back together, and then this thing could be ready to go. Now it is finally time to complete the gas tank job we started a few days ago. 5 gallons of vinegar. First, we need to empty out all 5 gallons of vinegar, draining it directly into a bucket just in case the metal isn't quite ready and I need to let it soak some more later. But for now, it's time to bring out the heavy artillery. I fired up the pressure washer and blasted out as much of the loosened gunk and debris as humanly possible. Once the deep blasting was done, we had to neutralize the acid. A quick wash with baking soda is the secret weapon here. It instantly stops the chemical cleansing process of the vinegar and helps prevent the bare metal from instantly flash rusting inside the tank. With the fuel system clinically clean, Gunnar again took the initiative and immediately went to work reassembling the bike completely. He didn't rush it, he took his absolute time, meticulously lining up all of the green fairings and making sure every single plastic snap, bolt, and hidden fastener was back in its exact correct spot. The engine is refreshed, the carbs are rebuilt, the tank is clean, and the plastics are back on. Next up, will it run and will it ride? Around here, we don't skip steps. All the gear, all the time. Gunnar is getting completely suited up because this 2008 Ninja is officially ready for its maiden voyage. Just look at this thing. It looks absolutely sharp. To get this motorcycle completely reset back to factory condition took about 100 hours of combined labor between the two of us. The cameras honestly missed quite a bit of the brutal grunt work, the frozen bolts, and the late night scrubbing, but the results speak for themselves. We were taking it out on private property for a ride test to see exactly how it handles, how those rebuilt carbs pull under load, and how the whole package feels. I am so incredibly proud of Gunnar. Seeing the sweat equity he put into this machine before he even turned the key tells me everything I need to know. I absolutely cannot wait to ride side by side with him out on the open road one day. What you think, bud?
It sounds pretty nice. It does feel a bit wobbly with the grass and gravel. It feels nice.